For years, the NBA has been dominated by stars like Luka, Jokic, and Giannis. But quietly, a new name has entered that conversation. A player who isn't just putting up crazy numbers, he's changing how defenses play the game. And that player is the leader of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, also known as SGA, has turned into one of the most unstoppable offensive players in NBA history. And what makes it even crazier is how unique his playstyle is. He doesn't rely on crazy athleticism. He doesn't shoot 15 threes a game. Instead, he dominates with footwork, patience, and elite scoring instincts. And in this video, we're going to break down how SGA became a superstar, why he's almost impossible to guard, how he turned OKC into a contender, and why he might actually be breaking the NBA right now. The crazy thing about SGA's rise is that almost nobody predicted it. When he entered the NBA in 2018, he wasn't hyped like the other stars we talk about today. Players like Luka Doncic, Trae Young, and DeAndre Ayton. Those stars were getting the most attention from that draft class. Shai was drafted 11th overall, originally played for the Los Angeles Clippers. He showed flashes early on, good defense, smooth scoring, high basketball IQ, but no one thought he would become one of the best players in the world, if not the best. Then, everything changed. In 2019, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was traded to the Thunder in the massive deal that sent Paul George to the Clippers. At the time, people thought OKC was rebuilding, but that trade ended up creating a future MVP candidate. Because once Shai got the keys to the offense, he started evolving every single season. His scoring jumped. His efficiency improved. His confidence skyrocketed, and eventually, the NBA realized something. SGA wasn't just good, he was unstoppable. Most superstars dominate in very obvious ways. Steph Curry destroys teams with his threes. Giannis overpowers defenders in the paint. But SGA plays at a completely different rhythm. Watching him almost feels like he's moving in slow motion. He hesitates, he pauses, he changes speeds, and defenders have no idea when he's actually going to attack. That's why his drives are so deadly. Once he gets inside the lane, he has one of the deepest finishing bags in the NBA. Girl steps, spin moves, floaters, fadeaways, off-balance layups, and he finishes through contact consistently. But the most broken part of his game, the mid-range, easily. Where most players avoid mid-range shots, SGA turned it into a weapon. He gets defenders on his hip, stops on a dime, and knocks down the jumper, over and over again. Defenders know it's coming, but they still can't stop it. Another huge reason SGA is breaking the NBA is his ability to live at the free throw line. Every superstar knows the easiest ways to score is getting free points, and Shai might be one of the best foul drawers in the league. But here's the difference. He doesn't flop, he doesn't force bad shots. Instead, he controls defenders with his pace. He drives, stops, leans into contact, and suddenly the whistle blows. It's almost impossible for defenders to guard him without fouling because he's always one step ahead. And once he gets to the line, he converts almost every time. So when his shot isn't falling, he's still putting up 30 points like it's nothing. That's superstar scoring. The real reason SGA is breaking the NBA is because defenses haven't solved him yet. Think about the most elite scorers. Eventually, teams develop strategies to slow them down. Double teams, traps, zone defenses, but SGA handles all of it. Double him, he finds the open teammate. Play him one-on-one, he cooks the defender. Drop coverage, mid-range jumper. Switch a big on him, he blows right by them. There isn't a simple defensive answer, and that's why he's putting up superstar numbers night after night. Teams know he's the Thunder's main weapon, and they still can't stop him. What makes SGA even more impressive is what he's done for the Thunder franchise. Just a few years ago, the OKC Thunder were expected to rebuild for a long time. They had draft picks, young players, but no one expected them to become competitive so quickly. Then, SGA turned into a superstar, and everything changed. Now OKC has one of the most exciting young cores in the NBA, including players like Chet and Jalen Williams, with SGA leading the team. The Thunder suddenly become one of the most dangerous teams in the Western Conference, winning the NBA championship last year. And what's scary is that they're still getting better. They still have a ton of draft picks. They still have a ton of young talent developing, which means the Thunder could be a dominant team for years. At this point, Shai isn't just an all-star. He's playing at an MVP level. He is the MVP. Night after night, he's putting up 30 points, elite efficiency, clutch performances, and he does it without forcing the game. That's a true sign of a superstar. Everything just looks smooth, controlled, effortless. And when the game is on the line, Shai always seems to step up. Big shots, big drives, big moments. He's becoming one of the most reliable closers in the entire league. So when people ask you, who's the next face of the NBA, you have to start including Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in that conversation. Because right now, he's doing something special. He's dominating the game in his own way. Not with crazy dunks, not with endless threes, but with skill, practice, and elite basketball IQ. And if he keeps improving the way he has been, the rest of the NBA might have a serious problem. Another reason SGA has become such a problem for the NBA is his basketball IQ. When you watch him play, it's clear he's thinking 2 or 3 moves ahead of the defense. A lot of scorers in the league rely on athleticism or speed to beat defenders, but Shai beats them mentally first. He reads where the help defense is coming from. He understands angles when attacking the rim, and he knows exactly when a defender is slightly off balance. That's why you'll see him hesitate for just a split second, then suddenly explode into the lane. It looks simple, but it's actually incredibly hard to guard because defenders are constantly reacting instead of controlling the play. That level of control is something only the smartest players in the league have, and it's a big reason why Shai is able to score consistently every single night. Another huge part of his game that doesn't get talked about enough is his efficiency. A lot of players can score 30 points in today's NBA, but not many can do it while shooting extremely high percentages. Shai is incredibly selective with his shots. He knows where his best spots are on the floor, and he rarely forces bad attempts. Instead of taking rush threes or contested shots early in the shot clock, he patiently works his way into the paint or into his mid-range spots where he feels comfortable. Because of that, his scoring feels effortless. 1 minute, he has 12 points. The next minute you check the box score and he already has 30. It sneaks up on teams because he scores so smoothly without needing to dominate the ball every possession. Something else that makes SGA unique is his change of pace. Most players in the NBA that play one main speed, they either attack fast or they slow the game down. Shai, though, he somehow does both at the same time. He'll start a drive slowly, almost like he's not even trying to score. And that's when the defender relaxes for just a split second, then he suddenly accelerates past them and gets right to the rim. That ability to constantly shift speeds completely throws defenders off. It's similar to the way players like Luka control the game, but Shai does it in a more slithery, unpredictable way. Defenders can't time their movements against him because he's always playing and adjusting the tempo of the play. Shai has also improved massively as a playmaker. Early in his career, he was mainly known as a scorer who can create his own shot, but over the last few seasons, he's developed into someone who can control an entire offense. When defenses collapse on him, he doesn't panic. Instead, he calmly finds open teammates for easy buckets. That's a huge reason why the OKC Thunder's offense has become so dangerous. Teams can't just focus on stopping Shai anymore, because if they double him, someone else is getting an open 3 or a wide open lane to the basket. His ability to balance scoring and passing has turned him into a completely different offensive engine. Do you guys think that SGA is going to become the MVP this season? SGA has become a literal human being cheat code, and it needs to be talked about because he might win back-to-back MVPs and back-to-back NBA championships. And the Thunder are probably the best team in the league, so that doesn't help at all for the rest of the league. Let me know what other NBA players you guys want to see me talk about next, and I'll see y'all in the next video.